You're listening to a hockey podcast where we talk about ice hockey and stuff. Yeah.
With Channelle, Molly, and Jessie.
Hello, hockey friends. Welcome back to another episode of this hockey pod. We are your hosts. I'm Molly. Hi. And I'm joined by Channelle and Jessie. Woo! Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
We hope your week was as fabulous as you. That's so funny. Today we will be discussing our NHL news as normal and focusing on a very special team. One that I'm sure most people don't hold close to their hearts, apart from Quinn Hughes. The Vancouver Canucks. Canucks?
Does
Canucks.
Hughes even hold them close to his heart?
I don't know. I don't think he has a choice.
I don't know about that.
Held
He always
hostage?
looks like he's holding it in.
He might have a
Yeah.
certain date circled on his calendar a few years from now.
Just help me.
That's his personality,
Yeah, just anxiety.
literally. Little Miss Anxiety.
Should we get straight to it?
Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna go through the news of what's been going on in the last week, stuff that we wanted to talk about and cover, and then we'll do a bigger discussion on the Canucks afterwards because they've kind of been the talk of the town for the last few weeks, and I feel like it's basically what most people are talking about. There's always something going on. But the first thing that we did want to discuss, and I think a lot of people had some raised eyebrows when this came out, was a conference that Gary Bettman did earlier in the week. And although he said a lot of things throughout, the one thing that got people talking the most, and I think most people wanted to give their opinion on, is this quote in particular. So when people were asked about tanking, especially this year, right? Tanking is big, a discussion point because of Connor Bedard specifically being such a desirable number one pick. Gary Bettman at a press conference said, "Nobody tanks because we have a weighted lottery. You're not going to lose games to increase your odds by a couple of percentage points. That's silly. And frankly, suggesting tanking, I believe, is inconsistent with the professionalism that our players and our coaches have." So, everybody laugh, off, snicker, go ahead, get that out of the way.
Cringy much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, again, Connor Bedard is there, and to just suggest that teams don't tank, it's just not true. It's not true, and it doesn't matter whether the percentage is small or not. They're gonna want that percentage,
Oh yeah, like even if you miss out on Bedard, some of the guys who will be available at the top of the draft this year are really good. And when you have no chance of making the playoffs at all, let alone contending for a cup, and your talent pool is just like so shallow, that's where you go into rebuild and you start tanking.
Well, sometimes tanking is not intentional.
Well, no, but that I guess maybe doesn't qualify as tanking in the in like the conventional sense, right? That's just being bad by accident.
Yeah,
Skunked.
tank by accident. Whoopsie.
If anything, sometimes accidental tanking maybe works out better than intentional tanking, but that depends on
True.
the team.
Very
That's true.
fair.
That's true. It does bring up the conversation though of I mean, it's a good intro into tanking because yes, it does exist, and I don't love it. Okay, I'm a fan. I want to watch my team play, and if my team sucks, and all of a sudden they're like, let's tank real hard. It depends. If you're gonna tank right off the beginning, don't talk to me. But if you're nearing the end and you already kind of sunk down to the bottom, then you might as well sink even lower and try to get that top pick, right?
Oh yeah.
No one's above it. The way that he's saying is like, my coaches and my teams would never.
They 100%
But they would.
Well, actually,
Sorry,
here's
Bettman.
the one thing that I think is very much like we know Gary Bettman is a lawyer. He's a businessman at the front of a professional league. He chooses his words carefully, and I think that's very intentional here because the last part of the line he says is that he believes that it's inconsistent with the professionalism of the players and the coaches. The entire quote, like if you look at what he says during that press conference, he's always talking about how players and coaches don't tank. And I will say I agree with that. Like, players and the coaches, they're always trying to do their best. Like, guys hate being on a tanking team, right? The players, it sucks. It's depressing. You hate losing. The coaches, they're incentivized to try and keep their jobs. They want to keep winning. They want their guys to, like, do better, the team to be stronger. The tanking comes from the GMs and the owners and the presidents, right? Like, the people at the top. They're the ones who are intentionally crafting a team that should lose a bunch so they can draft.
Love it.
No, I agree. But I mean, it feels like he's really dancing around the subject, right? He's like, no, players and coaches don't tank. And that's kind of true. It's not
GMs.
them. It's
what about GMs?
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, Molly.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your inputs.
Stella.
If anything, I think there's some teams that aren't tanking enough this year, considering that Bedard is available, and there's a lot of crappy teams that don't want to seem to give up when
I
they
feel
should.
like there's a lot of pressure on Bedard. If everyone's like, oh, we want him.
Oh, for sure.
And he's probably going to be there like sweating like, oh God, please don't hurt me. Yeah. And also, does he really want to be
Oh my God.
drafted by a tanky team? Like, that's such a really shitty position to be in because you want to be doing well in the NHL.
Oh,
And
it
then, like-
is.
Oh, yes. But that's
Just like
kind
last
of
And then,
the
like, I don't
dilemma,
know.
right?
The coyotes pick you up just like,
And you're like, oh man, I'm in for it. I'm in for it. Like,
Oh.
top pick, Connor Bedard goes to a
he's
college
like,
arena.
damn you,
Let's
hockey
go."
gods.
He's still young, right? He'll get to have his college experience while still
Oh,
getting
God,
to do the NHL.
don't. Jesse.
All right, so the next thing that was on the radar, just a small trade that happened this week. Honestly, it feels like we've been starved for trades lately. We're all waiting for the trade deadline to come, and in the meantime, it's like
Tumbleweed.
quiet. Just a bunch of rumors, but nothing's
Yeah.
actually happening, right?
Mm.
We did finally get a minor trade with the Avs and the San Jose Sharks. So the Sharks sent away Matt Nieto and Ryan Merkley to the Avs, and the Avs give in return Martin Kaut and Jacob McDonald. So the funny part here, I think Molly, you're familiar with this, right? Matt
Yeah.
Nieto specifically, having been drafted by San Jose and playing there for a bit, then eventually playing in Colorado for a bit, then eventually playing in San Jose again, and now he finally goes back to Colorado.
And we're happy he's back. We're happy he's back. I think he likes the Avs. He was in he played. When did he go last time?
This guy sounds a lot like a kid that's in the middle of a divorce, going back and forth, packing his suitcase, going to mom and dad's
Oh,
house.
100%.
The first 2 weekends of the month you're with mom. The last 2 weekends of the month you're with dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Never unpack your suitcase.
Never unpack.
And you have a room set up in both cities for you
Yeah.
every time, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it.
sounds about right.
2019-2020 season, he was with Colorado. And he played really well. I don't know, like he was playing really well because I remember seeing that and being like, yeah, it's our dude.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
good depth. I mean, clearly, it'll help out the Avalanche if they try to do the playoffs again and they need some depth in their bottom six. I'm
Mhm.
assuming Matt Nieto will be perfectly fine, especially if he's already familiar with some of the
Yeah,
guys.
it's
I think that
definitely
really helps.
worth more than
But I think
McDonald. No offense.
yeah. I mean, obviously McDonald's just like depth defense, right? It's mostly just like dumping off a guy. I think what most fans of these teams are going to talk about is really Ryan Merkley and Martin Kaut being swapped because they were both actually drafted in the first round in 2018, same year, first round draft picks. Merkley 21st overall by the Sharks and Kaut 16th overall by the Avalanche. And it seems like they just haven't progressed to the point where they were expected to, because if you look to, they're both still on their entry-level contracts, actually. Like, they kept sliding back for an extra year. They're on year number 5 of their ELCs now. So it's clear that, like, they never really got a big shot in the NHL until, like, this year. Now they're both starting to play a lot. So sometimes these pick swaps work. You know what I mean? Prospects that just didn't work out on your level, you go to a different team and finally start finding it, and maybe the opposite happens. We'll see.
Like with
I mean, I hope for them the best. Sometimes the change of
like with
scenery helps, right?
the Kadri Barry swap.
Oh my God.
Well, that we already knew was going to be like a bad in a way, because that Kadri was a good player no matter what.
Wow, that's some slanderous silence towards Barry.
don't know. He was a good defenseman, but it was always it was known that he was more known for his offense than defense, right? And Kadri was just a really strong forward that just got better over time, even.
He was so good.
He is so
You will
good.
be missed.
The
With
memories
us
are too
too.
painful.
Yes,
Yeah.
for both of us.
True, right? We both
All
got
like
of us.
Calgary just there, like, heh, like, oh.
Yeah, you knew him for a shorter amount of time,
We
but you
did.
got
We
more
got
out
a
of
cup
him.
out of him. Thanks.
Oh man. Right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see over time to see if this trade pans out for any of these prospects or if they both kind of just
It's panning
fade
out
away
for us
over
already.
time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did Merkley play yet?
Yeah.
Nieto
Against the
scored
Blues?
last night.
Oh, Nieto, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant for like the prospects.
Oh, the prospects. Je sais pas.
Au revoir.
Je sais pas.
So, did you two see the Stadium Series jerseys that were shown?
I mean, yeah, we posted it on our Twitter.
Oh, true, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe I should pay attention to our Twitter more.
Gotta.
I wanted to hear your opinions on the Caps jersey and the Canes jersey for the upcoming game.
Man, I
Yeah.
got opinions. Like onions.
Oh,
but
then
juicy.
did you want to go first then?
Should we dissect the Canes one first and then just go in
Sure.
on the Caps?
Yeah, let's go.
So Canes, we got a nice black and red going on, their normal logo in the middle
Yeah.
with a little bit of red edging.
Innovative, bold,
Bolt.
transformative, right?
Oh, 100%. Like
Groundbreaking.
florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
I mean, I think personally, it's a good jersey. Like it's a jersey.
To be fair,
Yeah,
gonna
I'd
look
be
good on
fair,
ice.
the Canes logo, it looks good in black and red. Don't fix what ain't broke. So I like that. I do like the idea of the red on the sleeves with the numbers. I like that. It's a bit different. It's a little bit mixing it up. But it's still classic. She's still sleek. She's still stylish. You can wear that to a bar and not feel like you're going to get attacked. So
Yeah.
I think that might be part of my problem with this is that it really feels plain and
Unoriginal.
simple, right? Like it's almost like it doesn't provoke a lot of emotion, good or bad.
I think that's what they go for. I
yeah.
think that's what they go
it's
for.
not Stadium Series.
Well, if anything, I'd say it kind of is, maybe. I feel like the Stadium Series jerseys are usually a mix of plain and, like, unimaginative, or sometimes strange in a unappealing way.
Exactly.
But that's what she's saying. It should be more bombastic. Well, bombastic.
It needs to be
might not the term,
bombastic.
I feel like the Stadium Series just designs to me feel like sort of like soulless corporate redesigns that are unattractive. That's the vibe that I've always gotten from most of the Stadium Series jerseys.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also, like, where's your ambition, Jesse?
It reminds me of when you shop on those websites that sell like their own knockoff jerseys, and sometimes they'll have like palette swap versions of your team's jerseys. So you scroll through and you're like, oh look, they did a Canes version where they just put black all over it instead.
I feel like they tried.
That's what I'm saying. The jersey is bombastic. What I want it to be is explosive.
Like, I don't think it's necessarily bad. Like, it looks fine, but it looks fine.
Yeah, but how are you doing?
That's exactly what
Fine.
I'm saying.
You're just fine.
Right?
For the stadium, are you excited for the Stadium Series? I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
How's that new Canes jersey? Fine.
See?
People in the comment section did like it, just so you know. Well, they're saying there's a little bit of a mixture. A lot of people are saying, yeah, plain and unoriginal is a common thing, or people really like it because it's crisp.
Yeah.
And it's crisp and good contrast. But
I
yeah,
guess
I think
if
it's okay.
you always wanted to see that type of Canes jersey in black, well, you finally got it, right?
Yeah, I will say on ice, on screen, like from afar, it's gonna look good.
Oh, it's gonna look great.
I love
Yeah,
black
probably.
jerseys.
Same.
So it's just the way
Should we
it
go
is.
on
No,
to?
yes.
The Caps.
Yeah.
My goodness me, what a jersey!
Okay, okay, I disagree with everyone in the world. I don't know what it is, but I dig it. I
Okay,
fucking love
I
it.
was
want to
wondering where
like
you guys
it.
would fall. I actually like this one.
I don't want to
You
like
do?
it at all. I really don't.
Oh, you do?
But I
You
like
guys love it? Oh my god.
Oh,
Yay.
goodness me.
I wouldn't say I love it.
No,
but
The flow of it.
I love it.
I love the flow of this. Like the whole sleeves that kind of connect to the logo in the middle. Oh, she's divine. She
It's
delivers
wings,
this.
guys. It's freaking
This
wings. I dig it so
screams
much.
Team USA.
Yes. Holy shit, does it
Haha.
ever?
The U.S. Capitol, right?
Yeah. I bet she's
I
gonna
love
come
I'm
down
sorry,
and sweep
but
on in it. Watch out.
he's gonna that's his celebration, isn't it? That's his literal goal celebration. Right on a jersey.
Oh, you know what? I hadn't realized previously when I first saw it, but like with the eagle underneath it, they cut out the chunk of the silhouette from the top of the
Yeah.
Capitol building, right?
Yeah.
No, I know it's
It's
genius.
genius.
And I didn't even realize it at first, and I still liked it. And then I saw it again, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a detail
There's
that like
so
didn't
much
stand out to me
thought.
initially." And
So much
I like it.
thought in this. As a designer, I'm like,
Like,
oh,
I'm-
you sneaky bastard. Just, oh.
I can't even apologize. I love it. Okay.
And the red
You
band,
heard it here first.
the little details of
Oh,
red
oh.
on the collar and at the bottom.
Mwah.
Oh, freedom.
I-
I hear you.
I'm feeling
Freedom, am I
patriotic
right?
all of a sudden. It's funny. None of us are American, and we're just all swooning over it.
I know. I think it's good. I'm sorry, but like I even love it with the with like a white hoodie underneath.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh my
like that,
gosh.
like,
So good.
just that jersey.
Well, that's the
marry
hoodie
me.
version there that you're looking
Hey!
at the picture, but yeah.
Guys, I genuinely thought you both were gonna say it's hideous and I was gonna have the like the opposite
Oh, do you-
opinion.
do you
So
want me
I'm
to
very
do that
happy
then?
right now.
Chanel, it's awful.
No. No.
I
No.
can't stand,
Don't talk about it that way.
I can't stand.
I can't wait to see it
Capitol.
on the ice.
Oh, I think I look great on the ice, man. Oh,
Oof.
Ugh.
Especially, I need Ovechkin to score so he can do his celebration in the jersey.
oh.
Then they'll fly. The wings will go.
Oh,
They'll
so
start
good.
flapping.
Oh my god,
I like
Okay,
it.
we are obsessed.
Ugh.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I love it.
If you don't like it, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
It in terms of graphic design, it's exciting, it's stimulating, it's explosive,
Modern,
edgy, crisp.
crisp.
Yeah, I feel like it leans into like the clean and sleek sort of look.
Yeah.
That's how I describe my boy.
It's not over designed.
That's how you describe the boy at Ovechkin.
Crisp and clean.
Crispy cream.
Crispy clean.
Maybe
Boy. Should we move on now?
we should probably say
Well,
that
yeah,
the
actually,
Stadium Series is in February.
That's true.
Oh, true.
It's
true.
on the 18th.
Oh yes,
isn't it?
Stadium.
It
on
feels
the
like there's not a
18th.
lot of fanfare for those games, weirdly enough, eh?
No.
No. If it's
like,
my
cool
Leafs, then
jerseys,
yeah, I'll go.
Right? Cool jerseys. Anyways, I'm not watching the game.
Merch, yes. Actual hockey,
No. You know what though? I think it's. I will add that it's a good matchup because the Canes playing against the Caps a few years ago in the playoffs was a pretty good matchup. And people really enjoyed the kind of the. I don't know. They ended up being almost enemies, by the end of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see.
Yeah, it's a good choice for a game in the States. I mean, like the Stadium Series are always American games, right? So I mean, like I think this is a good matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we were talking about the sort of like American sports perspective, right? Us being a bunch of Canadians and European. Actually, there's this news story here that I want to discuss because I feel like it's important, but we might not have the best perspective on it. So I was hoping to talk about this and maybe see if any of our viewers or followers would have anything to comment either on YouTube or on Twitter, get their opinion if they are impacted by this story. So I don't know how familiar you two are with this, but there's a company called Bally Sports They do the regional networks in a lot of areas in the United States. And that company is declaring bankruptcy right now. It's actually part of the specific, like the Sinclair Broadcasting Group. It's like a larger company in the States that does a lot of television related stuff. But they do the sports coverage for NBA, MLB, and NHL teams throughout multiple cities. But apparently, it's at a point where it owes like billions of dollars in rights fees, right? So like the rights that they pay to air those games to multiple leagues. So it's kind of unclear at this point how much money they owe to the NHL, but assuming if they're going bankrupt, that means NHL's probably not going to get maybe all the money they're owed. And we know when it comes to the NHL, that means less revenues, which means,
Stingy.
Yeah, it probably affects the player salaries. It could theoretically affect the future of the cap too, if they want to use it as an excuse for, we had a deficit now because of this. We can't boost up the cap as much as we wanted to. It's a little unclear yet what the future will be in this case, because I think they're talking about maybe trying to still be able to continue being a broadcaster despite the bankruptcy, but we'll see how that goes. The NHL teams that they do have games for, they play the games for the Los Angeles Kings, Anaheim Ducks, Arizona Coyotes, Dallas Stars, St. Louis Blues, Nashville Predators, Minnesota Wild, Detroit Red Wings, Carolina Hurricanes, Columbus Blue Jackets, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Florida Panthers. So if we have any fans of those teams who you like, if you actually watch those games through Bally Sports, we'd be curious to know what your opinion is on this, maybe your insight. Like, is this really going to affect TV broadcasting in the US when it comes to these teams for the NHL games? Or do you think it's going to be business as normal? Or do you not even use these? Like, maybe this is why the company's going bankrupt. Nobody watches these anymore, right? Maybe you'll stream them through other services.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have heard Bally Sports before. I have heard of that.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to watch broadcasts of other teams in the States, right? Or like the away broadcasts.
Yes, that's exactly. So, yeah, I don't have that much of an idea or an opinion about it. It's just good to let you guys know what is happening, and maybe you have an opinion, like Jesse was saying.
That's what I wanted to hear from some American fans who might be impacted by this. I want to see what their perspective is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And one last little thing here that was really cool from last night's game. We almost didn't notice this before starting the podcast, but because obviously we didn't watch this game. But did you hear about Matt Berlin from last night's game against Oilers and Chicago Blackhawks?
Well, yes, I just recently read up about this like 20 minutes ago, Jesse.
Professional.
Yeah, it is, to be fair, it's really adorable. This is an e-bug who just recently signed what do you call that? An ATO?
Yeah, an amateur tryout contract.
Yeah, by the Oilers. He is with the University of Alberta, and he signed a contract to be the e-bug, and he got to sit on the bench with the boys as a backup. Hopefully he'll get to play, but the game kind of ended almost. Wait, what was it, Jesse? Say it again.
It was 7-3, I believe. Yeah, it was 7-3. So basically the Oilers were already beating the Blackhawks 7-3. I mean, at that point it's pretty clear the game is over, right? And since there was 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, they said, why the hell not try and put him in, give him the chance to play, right?
Was it Connor McDavid specifically, or?
Yes, it seems that Connor McDavid said that he apparently brought up the idea after the game. The coach, Jay Woodcroft, mentioned that the players initiated that discussion, and they were all for it. Campbell was okay with it too. So, because obviously this kid, he's only replacing most likely for that game and that game only. Because the only reason they brought him in was because Stuart Skinner, who was supposed to be the backup that night, came down with an illness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not anything long term. He's not going to stick around or anything. It really was just for that one game. So like the odds of him playing were basically zero. Like obviously considering the game was 7-3, they never needed him at all. But because it was so far ahead and there was so little time left, this is really fun that they did this. They did say, hey, why not give him the opportunity, right? Like he's a 25-year-old goaltender playing for the University of Alberta. He's unlikely to get a chance at ever playing in the NHL, right? So
Yeah.
give him his opportunity, right? Like it's something he'll clearly remember for the rest of his life. And he only had to face one shot, so nothing crazy, but he saved it, and then you've got a lifetime memory formed.
Yeah, you never see that, so
cute.
it's super cute.
So cute.
It is.
Canadian teams
Oh,
are
little
so
baby.
wholesome.
Even though it's Connor McDavid.
Who? Sorry? What?
I think that was a cute little story that we wanted to share with you. Sorry I forgot half of it, but that's why Jesse's here.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
All right, before we move on to the Canucks, I think we're going to go take a quick peek in the morgue. We're going to go find all the players who are done for the season.
Wow.
Because it seems like there's been a lot lately, right?
Are they done for the season or just dead to us? You decide.
Oh, well, I mean,
Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Ding ding.
I'm not dead yet.
Feel much better. I want to go for a walk.
So we've got some drastic injuries actually here, where it's like players who are impactful to their team being sidelined for the rest of the season.
Big guns.
Big.
Yeah, the first one that we got was
Big.
Caulfield.
Yeah.
So he's out now for a shoulder surgery.
Oof.
Did you see what he said about separating his shoulders?
I don't want to.
Yeah, so basically, apparently before finally, like, because it seems this injury's been like lingering for a while, before finally deciding to bow out, get the surgery, and miss the rest of the season, he separated his shoulder 2 different times, and he had to pop it back in both times.
Oh,
Yeah, he did it himself.
man.
And then I guess he finally realized, maybe I should take care of this.
It's like,
Yeah, actually,
that's not normal.
he should. 'Cause that's not good. Shoulder injuries are actually one of the worst injuries you could have, and it's a long process with the surgery. So the fact that it happened twice and then he popped them in both times, he was like, I think it's time to finally look at this. Yeah, I think so, sir. I think so.
The other 2 that we have that are really, I think, unfortunate and probably really frustrating for the team and the players themselves. There's Pacioretty. Pacioretty, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, with the torn Achilles heel.
Yeah. For those who don't remember, in the offseason, he was traded to Carolina from the Vegas Golden Knights. So, everybody was curious to see how his premiere would go with the Canes. And, of course, he didn't get to start the season with them because he had a torn Achilles that needed to heal. And he missed the first 38 games of the season to recover from the injury. And finally came back. And after playing maybe like a handful of games, what happens again?
Yeah.
This is the part where we say torn Achilles.
Torn Achilles.
ACL injuries are the worst.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Oh.
I think too, like, the thing was, it was at the end of the game that they had already won. There's just like a few minutes left, and it wasn't even like a hit, a fall, or anything. It just seems like he like was moving around, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, something tore.
Well, sometimes it just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the ACL, it's the Achilles.
Oh yeah, Achilles.
Which is I think that I don't even know which one's grosser.
It's the Achilles cord ligaments. That's what ACL stands for.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
MCL.
Yes, something in MCL.
Yeah, because I had an ACL injury from just walking.
Me too.
No impact.
Oh, God.
Just living my best life, and then it went. So
that's what I'm saying. I had ACL and MS, whatever the one.
Meniscus.
It's the anterior cruciate ligaments. The Achilles heel is around your ankle.
Yeah, mine was the ankle.
Oh yeah.
Oh no way. Yeah. That's like the worst.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Anyways, I feel bad for Pacioretty.
It's all good. I'm not skating.
That sucks. Yeah.
I'm skating anytime soon. Just horseback riding every time I get injured.
Dude, should we start considering the possibility that Pacioretty's career could be over from this?
Well,
100%.
I don't know.
Chanelle's like, no, and I'm like,
good answer.
He is 34, so he's on the older side, and clearly the fact that it took him so long to recover from that injury, and then it literally gets injured again by very little action, it seems like, right? It just kind of happened. Like,
Yeah, it's not good. It's not
it
good.
makes me worry for him.
It just feels bad when you have to when you say something that's not set in stone yet. It just feels bad because it's their career, and it's like, you want to stay positive, but yeah, it's difficult. Poor
And then
guy.
the other one that's a similar sort of frustrating story, I would say, was Josh Norris for the Senators, where he
That's a
missed a bunch of
shoulder.
time because of a shoulder injury. And then he came back for basically about a week, and then all of a sudden, shoulder injury again, and now he's completely out. He needs surgery.
Yeah,
What I feel
man, these shoulders.
What I feel bad with like NHL is you see the recovery time of some of these injuries and surgeries and stuff, and it's insanely quick. So
Oh, yeah.
does that mean that they're actually waiting to heal, or they've got like really good physio teams, or they just expect you to just heal quickly?
They have good physio. They have really, they put a lot of money into their medical staff,
Except
and
when they didn't.
they get except when they don't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's more opinion. That's more opinion based.
Yeah.
The doctors would disagree. The doctors usually say like, "Listen, we need this," and then the other people are like, "Are you sure? Yeah, I'm
Yep.
sure. I'm a doctor."
I mean, we do know players play hurt all the time, too. So, like, there's definitely a mix of
Hockey players.
factors.
100, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, they do put a lot of effort into it when it's done right. And usually, think about Connor McDavid. He took it upon himself to come back from the most insane injury ever. Like, there was a whole
Yeah,
documentary
without
on it.
surgery, right?
Without surgery. 5 other doctors, or 3 to 5 doctors, I forget, talked to him about all his possibilities. And he said, no, I'm going to fix this. And he did. And since then, he's had no injury on that.
Yeah.
So
But again, that took a ton of resources, crazy medical staff, and
money.
a ton of dedication from his part. Obviously, it's not anybody who's just going to be able to like go through that, right?
No, exactly.
And going back to Norris, for people following the Sens, they might not realize how big of an impact it is. But like Josh Norris really had a breakout year last year because he scored 35 goals, 55 points in total, and he's barely been able to play this season. And now his season is over. So like
Yeah, and the Sens need him.
Exactly. I don't
Like, they're
think he would have
doing-
saved their season necessarily because
No.
I still think their biggest problems are defense and to a degree goaltending. So like extra scoring would help, of course, but it doesn't solve your defensive woes, right?
They should be better. They should be better right now.
Oh, they should be better, but they're not
It's a
better.
theory.
They're not.
We say that every year with them.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't get it. The math works out. So why is it not
1
mathing?
+ 1 = 14 with them.
Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Minus Josh Norris.
Yes. So that's -12, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Nice.
And the last injury to discuss, not as crazy, but still newsworthy because, it's the Leafs and it's Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
He's out for 3 weeks with a knee sprain, so
At least it's a knee sprain. I will take it.
yeah.
But also, I don't need my knees. He can have one.
I don't need
Take it.
Your
Wait,
knee's
my
already
knee's bad.
busted.
I have one good knee. I'll give it to him.
Oh my god.
We'll club together and
So
get a bouquet
generous.
of knees.
A bouquet of knees. Oh, so romantic. Just in time for Valentine's Day.
I need
Oh
you.
my. I need you to
Oh
win
my
us a cup.
God.
Yeah, so bummer news. But the thing is, let's just ignore last game because the Leafs did lose epically against the Sens.
Always
But
the
they
Sens.
always
It's
do. So let's
always-
just ignore that.
Always a loss against
It's
the
Oh,
Sens.
yeah.
Always the Sens. So we're going to just eliminate that game completely from our minds, and moving forward, I think that the team will be able to hold itself together with Austin Matthews. It has before. We still have Nylander, Tavares, and Marner. So
Oh yeah, they're usually perfectly fine without Matthews, honestly, and they're probably still gonna end up in the playoffs as expected, and it's probably still just gonna be against Tampa Bay. The only thing it could change maybe is who gets home ice advantage, but otherwise, I don't think it'll make much of a difference.
no, but the bigger news for this, because things will work out the way it will. Austin Matthews will be replaced by Alexander Barkov in the All-Star game. What the hell?
So that was weird.
Why not a beautiful Swedish man named William Nylander? I don't get it.
Because
Okay, not to discount Barkov. I think he's
No.
an amazing player and he deserves to be there.
Obviously.
And I think that's a larger problem with the All-Star game right now is too many players deserve to be there. Like there's a ton, so there's always people getting left out.
they're all stars, you know? Everyone's a star.
They are all stars.
Everyone's a star, baby.
Participation trophy.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
The All-Star game should just be every single NHL player altogether. There you go.
Here's a random thought for you. Just changing the subject. You have the All-Star game. Why don't they have the opposite, which is the all trash game, where it's just the shittest player of the league play each other?
It's players. I think it would be a lot of depressed people, even if they found out they were nominated.
Like, you're a shit
It's like being
player.
nominated for a Razzie.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
like
God.
that basically, but make it NHL.
So the non-stars game?
Yeah, the non-stars.
The no stars.
The no
Yeah.
star game. You know what? Should we do that? Should we do an episode where we set up our own non-star teams for the league?
Yeah,
I think we should.
we should. Is that totally
Is that
mean?
bullying
Yes, but should
and
we?
harassment?
Yes.
Will we probably
Will
We
Yeah.
get taken
Yeah.
down.
Should we do it anyway?
It'll be.
I feel like
Yes.
that's almost as hard because here's the thing. Because you'd still kind of have to have some qualifications, right? Because there will still always be players who play one or two random games in a season, right? And they don't play well, but that's fine. They were just an AHL call-up and whatever, or like they were a random spare guy that they needed to play. I think like we need to focus on really the guys who are always in the lineup, but still suck
Yeah.
or still bad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nikita
just be-
Zaitsev.
Yeah. Well, does he even qualify now? Wasn't he in the AHL last time?
Hey, at one point he was a constant, so that matters.
Is he back up or not? I haven't paid attention on that front.
I don't know. We'll find out in that if we make a no stars game, won't we?
This is really
A
mean.
no
I love
stars
it.
team.
Maybe
it's
we would have a
harsh.
few Canucks to throw in there.
True. If they make
Yeah, so I don't know if we should jump right into the beautiful eulogy that Molly
it's not that
wrote.
long because there's not much to
The
say.
Beautiful short.
But if we could have a moment of silence, please, as we gather around the graveside. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate the life that was our recently departed, the Nucks. Plucked too soon from the fresh ice of Vancouver, the Nucks gave us casual hockey viewing pleasure for 53 years. Bereft of life, ceasing of existence, let us remember their glory of never quite reaching a Stanley and winning not much else either. Now, take it away, you guys. On to the autopsy.
I don't know if I can continue. Hold on.
I guess if there's one good thing I can take from this is that they're not truly gone. They will
But
come back as a
forgotten.
shambling zombie corpse that will continue to walk
I
on.
love that. Oh my god. They're not gone, but they are forgotten.
If anything, it's more like they're gone and they don't know it.
Vancouver who? Van Hoover?
Oh my god.
I don't
So,
know, man.
The last episode that we recorded, actually, while we were recording, the news came out officially that Bruce Boudreau had been fired as their head coach and had been replaced with Rick Tocchet. And I think that's been obviously the biggest point of discussion for the last probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
and-
yeah.
This has been the big problem, essentially, is that there was a lot of public support behind Bruce Boudreau as a coach, despite the team performing poorly. The fans clearly loved him. And I think he was really dealt a shit hand. In case people don't remember, he did come in last season, midway through, to replace Travis Green when he really needed to go finally. And they actually played really well under Bruce. They were climbing up the charts, and although it was too late to make the playoffs, it really seemed like there was a bit of hope for the future. Now, I still think the roster definitely needed to be improved, and it really wasn't in the offseason, so I don't really fully blame Boudreau for the failures. but the way everything played out with the fact that it was basically public knowledge that Rick Tocchet would replace him probably 2.5 weeks before it ever even officially happened made it really weird and really awkward.
Yeah. A lot of fans were pissed off. We've seen a lot of videos come in, a lot of standing ovations. Well, a standing ovation for Bruce Boudreau, and as soon as Rick Tocchet came onto the ice that one game, it was a lot of booing. Not obviously, I don't think it's directed towards Rick.
It's more towards the Canucks organization in general, right? Like,
yeah,
the
exactly.
handling of the situation.
Well, because it does suck because truly, like, they didn't really give him much time, right? Like, was it just like how many seasons? One?
Yeah, it's not even a full season technically. It's
No,
a chunk of one and a chunk of
exactly.
another.
That's not enough time to say, anyways, you're fired next, you know?
Not just that, he's got a shit team, right?
Mm-hmm. You fucking try to reel in these. What are they? You try it, huh? Not
Oh, boy.
easy.
Rick Tocchet has his work cut out for him, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You know what they need? They need the coach for the Islanders. Hello.
Oh, Trotz.
Oh, they need Trotz.
They need
So
Trotz.
I don't know if
They need Trotz.
You sure they don't
man.
need
They need a new team.
Linguini?
Or Mike Myers.
Sorry, it's not even Linguini. Tortellini.
oh my
Not
god.
Tortellini.
Do not say that to the Canucks fans.
Do you
They
guys
will
want
freak out.
Tortellini?
Flashbacks.
They'll just be there like,
No.
The Canucks fans are just getting PTSD flashbacks right
Sorry, my bad.
So I think that's part of the problem too was just how public it was and how awful it was. Like,
Yeah.
Boudreau cried at a press conference or an interview or something, like even before he's fired, right? Like, you can tell it was really upsetting. And it's like all people are talking about is how he's gonna get fired and replaced, but he still has to technically keep doing his job until that time
And
comes.
he did. He was a class act.
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for him too. Sucks. Anyways, we're Team Boudreau. Woo. Well, I am.
Now, my other question is the choices now of the the recently new president, Jim Rutherford, and the GM, Patrick Alvin. They're now in charge of shaping this team, right?
Yeah.
But what are they actually doing? I don't think it's very clear if they really want to go in the direction of a rebuild or if they want to just try and, scrap this year and you try to be competitive again next year, like immediately.
Oh, you mean for this year? I thought you meant like overall. Overall, it sounds like they want to be competitive.
Yes, but I mean, like, do you do like a bit of a rebuild, like take you a few years to build your way back up, or do you say like, okay, this year sucked, but next year we're trying again?
I don't know, because of all the pieces that are currently going to be they're going to be shifted soon. They're going to lose their captain, probably. They're gonna lose who else?
Well, we do have Bo Horvat, who's on the last year of his contract. Like you said,
Yeah.
it seems like they're probably going to lose him. Rumors keep saying that he's unlikely to sign and stay for more time. So that would mean they most likely trade him at the deadline.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because he's on
Brock
a pace
Besser?
for career. Brock Besser is always in trade rumors, but it never seems to happen.
True.
Well, we'll see.
All that's gonna go. People are already like being like, we want him.
Oh, yeah.
We want him.
He's already at 31
Yeah,
goals.
he's the trade piece.
Exactly.
He's a
Oh, yeah.
trade piece.
He's I think the top fish for the trade deadline right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's what everybody wants.
No, everyone will not stop talking about this, right? Like, it's all over the news. It's constant. It's the only topic I see every time on during intermissions and games and stuff,
Sidebar for Molly. I know that a lot of people. I don't know if it's like wishful thinking or speculation or real rumors, but they keep saying Colorado should go after him.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know, man. We kind of like have a good team. Yeah, definitely. He's a
Definitely.
good player. Why would I say no?
Yeah.
He's a strong center on having a career year who could easily fit in that second line, right? That's kind of been
Absolutely.
missing
Great
Kadri
assists.
ever since.
I mean, we've been
Great
missing
assists
Kadri.
and
We need someone to help with the assist. Like, of course, we've got like McKinnon, Rantanen, or whatever, or whatever.
Whatever.
But having Horvat on that line would be mint, absolute mint.
I think they're probably also going to trade away Luke Shen, because Luke Shen is a solid defenseman. He's making very little money. His contract's expiring. Technically, it happened in the past when he played for Tampa Bay and won the cup with them. So, I mean, he seems like an easy rental at the deadline for any team.
Yeah, he's a good piece too, because he's quite literally like right in the middle, right? In terms of production, like
it's not even really that. It's more for his defensive play, right? Like, it's just an experience, of course.
No, exactly.
The intangibles.
Oh yes.
And I think what pisses off a lot of fans right now with the Canucks, especially when we're talking about all this contract situation with Horvat and whatnot, JT Miller got re-signed this year, right?
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
He's there like
his contracts.
Why?
7 years, $8 million per year for the extension, and this kicks in next year. And it really is based off of the fact that he had a career year last year. He hit 99 points, which is very impressive.
Good. Like, he's doing good right now-ish. He's got 44 points.
Yeah, and that's that part not as bad, although obviously he's not going to reach the same heights. But the thing that fans really, really harp on him for is
plus or minus.
First off, attitude sometimes, because he can be a little bit of a testy person.
He's a twat.
You see that he expresses his discontent pretty publicly, which I do agree with him sometimes. Sometimes it's you got to keep a cap on it, depending. But
but if you're being rude to your teammates, like,
well, yeah, that's different.
Just
obviously.
don't be a dick.
I don't mind a player saying that their team sucks if they really suck, because that's sometimes it's some nice honesty.
But also, you kind of need, how people are like, it's good to be blunt. But when you're on a team, like sports, when you think about sports, you think about camaraderie, you think about like having fun, playing games,
That's true.
winning. Even if you don't win, you gotta try again, right? Like,
Yeah.
not toxic positivity, but like you have to be positive enough.
But
I guess you can talk issues with your coworkers, right? Your players together, but you shouldn't maybe out loud say that like one of your teammates sucks. It's not going to help them get better.
It's not very live, laugh, love
Right?
with you, is it now?
No, it's not. Smile, laugh, jokes. No.
But if we're going to criticize players, we should criticize Miller, because his defensive play this year has been awful.
Not good. Yeah, it's not
so
good.
bad.
Is he trying to break contract?
I can guarantee you.
like,
oh,
yeah,
no,
I'm
exactly.
wondering.
That's the thing.
is he
I
tanking?
can guarantee you.
Oh.
I can guarantee you can look up clip videos online of like montages of JT Miller's poor defensive play, and you'll have a fun time. It's
I know
like a blooper reel.
I know we talk about plus or minus not always being a factor in things not very tangible, but he's at a negative 14 right now, which is the worst on his team.
Oh, really?
Or actually, Ekman Larson's at negative 18, but
well, if we want to dive into Ekman Larson,
ooh, transition. Smooth.
Transition. This is adding on to the contract situations here, which is, I think, what is really like what makes them seem boneheaded is that they don't have money to re-sign Horvat, which means he'll probably walk. But they spent the money on re-signing JT Miller, and then they have two really disgusting contracts of Tyler Myers.
Yeah, and
2 years left
Larson.
at $6 million. And then Ekman Larson, 5 years left at $7.26 million. They are not really good defensively anymore.
No.
Maybe you could excuse having them on cheap contracts on your team playing your bottom pair right now, but they are not worth that money right now. And especially Ekman Larson, there is no trading that away. Like, I don't think they can trade that in any scenario. He's there. He's stuck there.
That's like, it reminds me a lot of San Jose. I was gonna say Saint Jose. Why?
Saint Jose.
Saint Jose.
I can't. No way, Jose. Yeah. So it reminds me of them. Just surprisingly less money, but still a lot. It's just like a lot of people stuck on that team, and that team continuously is struggling to make it anywhere or do anything.
Yeah. It's so funny because like you can tell right off the bat. I think the one thing that we're not
people seem to forget a little bit is that the previous administration who was in charge of this team fucked it up royally. The cap was jammed up like crazy with a bunch of useless contracts, including, Ekman Larsson's one was brought in technically to get rid of other bad ones. So I wonder if the new GM and the new president came in thinking they could fix this team. Like,
yes.
knowing it would be difficult, but that they could do it. And then after doing it for a while, they realized, okay, this team is way worse off than we expected.
No, based off of who they added throughout the seasons recently, it does look like they're trying to move up the ladder, not down.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. And I think that comes... I think the speculation is it comes from ownership. It seems like ownership just wants this team to keep trying to compete, and a rebuild might be out of the question. But sometimes a rebuild is necessary.
Well, we'll see if they'll budge. Do you really need to pull with the Vancouver Canucks? You need to pull a Shanahan.
Ooh, controversial.
I mean,
even though that is
that quickly.
And I don't mean Shanahan complete. Like, obviously, you're gonna want to keep not Jack, LOL, his brother Quinn Hughes, because he's good defensively.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to keep.
Like, you don't trade Pedersen.
No. Those are the pieces you want to work around, right?
Whether they want
probably
it or
keep
not.
Demko too, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Keep Kuzmenko, actually.
Yeah. So see, that's the other thing too, right? Kuzmenko's a weird one because theoretically, he is a good player. This was one of their good off-season decisions. They got Kuzmenko. He was an undrafted Russian free agent, right? They pick him up.
Resign him for 2 years.
Yeah, he's having a great year, right? 21 goals so far, 43 points. That's awesome for your first season in the NHL. But because they are failing so hard this year, and if you were trying to rebuild, theoretically, you might dangle this guy as a attractive trade piece at the deadline.
Exactly.
But instead, they said, no, we're going to keep him, and we're going to pay him $5.5 million per year.
That's insane.
And we're already complaining that there's no money left in the cap, and the little money that they did have, they spent it on JT Miller and Andrei Kuzmenko. And we keep talking about how, it's weird, it sucks that they can't re-sign Bo Horvat. But, I mean, they're just basically making that an impossibility at this point.
You're right. It's so confusing. Like, what are they doing? Not tanking. Apparently, they want to go forward, but then they're pulling moves that make you think, oh my gosh, yeah, c'est bizarre.
Right? It really gives me the impression that they know this season is over, so they'll probably trade away some guys to get some assets back. But next year, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to have at least a half-decent team on the ice and cross their fingers. Maybe we challenge for a playoff spot, but is that actually going to happen?
This is what we were saying last year. This is
we
were actually saying about this time last year about Vancouver. Because at the beginning of the season, we were like, look at them. They've got depth. They might make a playoff spot. Look at them with their pieces. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it's the same thing. It's just kind of like the Senators. In theory, it should really be working out for them. But somehow, they're all speaking different languages.
Oh, yes. And it has to do with the higher up. It does.
Yeah. I think that stretch of success they had with Bruce Boudreau at the end of last year, I think clouded our perception a little bit. We kind of forgot how shit this team was before he came in. And they were playing good when it was already too late.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the last aspect that's really affecting this team right now, unfortunately, injuries. Right? You've got Demko, who's been out since December 3rd, so already he's the only good goaltender they have, really, and even then he's has
not that
had a
great
rough
right
year.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. The guys filling in are doing okay, but it's nothing special.
Yeah, okay doesn't work if you're sucking, right? You need someone who's spectacular to bring them out, raise them from the dead.
Yeah. And then now the recent one that we've heard about is Ilya Mikheyev having the surgery, right, for his torn ACL.
Literally the same day he reached a stat. What was it?
Oh, I think it was his 100th game played in the NHL. Was that what it was?
His 100th game, and he freaking tears his ACL, and he decides, I gotta keep playing.
Me.
Right? So that's the crazy part that people are talking about.
Gotta get the job done. Gotta get the job done.
I've got a thing to do. No one's stopping me.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on this, actually? Because he did mention he partially tore his ACL in the preseason, and he
Yeah.
decided to just go ahead and play until finally at this point he's like, okay, I have to stop.
My experience from having an ACL injury, I don't know how that's possible.
Because some people are built
'Cause
different, apparently.
They're built different. Like I couldn't walk through a door without my knee coming out. Like I don't get it.
Didn't he do like an
So I
interview
think that's
about it?
maybe
Yeah, well he
yeah.
did. He posted it on Twitter. I have it right here. And he was talking because there's a lot of rumors saying that his team possibly forced him to go onto the ice and do this. And he clarified that it was my decision. I was told that I could play without causing any more damage. That's what I wanted to do. I continued to play. I appreciate everyone's concern, but but I have no complaints with the way this was handled. This was his decision ultimately.
Good for him.
Yeah, I think that might be a byproduct of just the cloud of crap all over the team right now, where like they announce Mikheyev is out because of an injury that he suffered in the preseason, and everybody goes, I can't believe the team forced him to play through it. Just by default, that's what we assume. We just assume the
And
worst.
he's just there like, no, guys, this was me. This is just me.
I'm stubborn as fuck.
I mean,
Doctor said it was okay.
I think there still is.
It's all good.
There still is that discussion to be had, though, right? Like, even if a player says, "I want to keep playing through this injury that inevitably requires surgery," should the team maybe step in and say, "Maybe you shouldn't"?
Yes, I do. Unless it's difficult to say because I know a lot of senior players. You know, like if who is it on the Tampa Bay Lightning? Let's just say Kucherov. Kucherov makes his own decisions. You know what I mean? The team doesn't make them for him. He will say
some
no,
players are a
and
bit
they
more
will
stubborn
listen.
than others, probably.
But if you're Ilya Mikheyev, you're not brand new to the NHL, but you're
still
fairly
young.
new. Exactly. And you want to make sure they have a healthy career, then you should pull them in, yes. No,
Yeah.
you can't do this. Sorry, you need to get better, and then it'll be for the best.
No.
I always felt like kind of a weird dichotomy with these sports doctors, because their goal is to heal the players and keep them as healthy as possible, but while also trying to keep that balance of allowing them to play as much. And like a lot of the times, doctors are helping players on how to navigate playing with an injury instead of full on like having to sit back and heal the injury, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, we always like give them big praise when we're like, wow, you're so tough for playing through that injury. But in real life, you'd be like, holy shit, sit down, let yourself heal. Like,
Lie down.
You're gonna hurt yourself if you keep using your knee. You know?
Stop it.
Lie down and shut up.
Let me make you tea.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Or in Mikheyev's case, a bowl of soup.
Oh. It's a nice hot bowl of soup.
He likes the soup.
Some, was it borscht?
Oh, some borscht.
Delish.
I think people also assume the worst with his injury at first, like from the Canucks side of things, because of the drama surrounding Tanner Pearson, right?
Oh,
100.
yeah.
So, and that was a weird one, right?
Is he still
so many surgeries?
Yeah, he's still getting operated on, or
his
Dude, he just lives on the table.
Oh, okay.
Third hand surgery.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's crazy.
For your hand to be, I mean,
I can't comment.
I just want to know. I just want to know what the hell his hand looks like.
Is it attached still?
I was really...
Is it smushed? Like, what is it?
I'm really sorry. I'm just going to interrupt you and send you a picture of my cat because she's just done a really cute thing. As soon as we started talking about surgery, she just covered her little face. Like, no, stop it.
She remembers that time she got fixed.
She's cute.
Like, it's too much. I can't handle it.
Don't talk about surgeries. I have a phobia.
What is his injury anyway? Is it a hand injury?
So
is it broken? Like,
yeah,
what's going on?
I'm assuming something like that, right?
I'm gonna look it up now.
That's
it's weird too, because like this was some very bizarre drama, because it kind of came out of nowhere when they mentioned, oh, he needs a third surgery. Then Quinn Hughes in an interview said that it sucks how the injury wasn't handled properly. And then everybody's ears perked up and went, wait, what do you mean by that?
Excuse me?
They've got an investigation going on.
Right? But then he kind of walked back his comments, but Pearson is still having a third hand surgery, right?
Yeah, but people flipped out at Quinn Hughes. I just gotta add this before we move on because it bothered me so much. Like, I remember there was a panel discussion and someone mentioned that Quinn Hughes had said that the injury wasn't handled properly, and they were like, I can't believe Quinn Hughes did that. Like, why would you talk about your teammates' injuries? Like, they probably wouldn't want that. It's so unprofessional. It's like, who fucking cares? People are so dramatic. They're so touchy over injuries, okay? Like, it's not
Like,
that.
I get the concept that you're not supposed to talk about people's private medical stuff, and like that's fair. I understand that.
It's freaking a hand injury. Like, it's bad, but like,
it didn't sound like malicious or like a sort of like intentional.
No, he sounded like he was behind him, right?
Yeah, it almost sounded like oh man, it sucks that this is happening to my teammate and friend.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, oh, maybe I said too much. Oops.
Yeah.
It's wrist surgery.
Okay.
So,
oh,
it's a little bit more complicated than just hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of intricate things.
A lot of things
could be
go
carpal
wrong.
tunnel from signing too many autographs, right?
100% it's that.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, Tanner Pearson, I have 15 jerseys.
All signed.
All signed. Maybe it was my
fault.
Every little corner.
Could you trace your name on the name on the back?
Oh my god. Trace it. Oh god.
I think the most embarrassing part of it was just how, like, when he made that statement, like, the GM, the president, the coach, they're all like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. This is news to me.
On a positive note, this is the news that I just saw right when we were starting our podcast, and it makes me really happy because, Molly, you mentioned earlier, like, the Canucks. Who likes them? Well, me. Oh. I love the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh.
Yes, you know this. My literal favorite hockey player, not currently in the league, obviously, is Luongo, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I just saw the news. Just want to confirm it there. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Yep.
Yeah, he may be playing in the All-Star.
Yeah.
Really?
They're gonna include him as a celebrity goaltender.
I love that.
I'm jumping in my seat. I'm gonna cry. I love Luongo. He brought so much passion out of me as a young child. So yeah, I don't know what it was. Massive Leafs fan. Saw Luongo in an Olympic game and said, "That's my guy.
That's my boy.
That is my guy. That's my guy."
I think this is a fun idea for All-Star games in the future because, like, they have brought in NHL vets in the past, but I like this idea in a sense just because it's a recent vet who's probably still in shape enough to actually play.
Not like a
so you get to actually have them participate at a higher level.
Could you imagine?
Got his little Zimmer frame out.
Goddamn Wayne Grensley. Wayne Lemley.
I remember a few years back when they did the hardest slap shot competition and they brought in Al McInnes. Like, he is very old, but he was very much well known for a slap shot, and he could still slap it.
No, I love it. That's what reels people in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's not like he had to do much, right? Like, he didn't have to brush up on his skating, his hitting, or his playmaking. It was just like slap the puck hard like he used to, and he still got it.
Well, don't forget that last year they did also have Manon Rémy, right?
Rémy, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no accent aigu at the end. I'm sorry.
Désolé.
Yes. Désolé. I love her too. So that was cool to have. You know, stuff like that is fun.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
I'm into it.
Have we finished with the Canucks now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I can finish our funeral.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, yes,
you ready for this?
Bow your heads.
We therefore commit this team to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life, or in this case, maybe hockey. Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the... No, kidding.
Thank you, hockey gods.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share if you can. Thank you to all of our new followers and subscribers. We really appreciate you joining our little hockey community. Please follow us on Twitter at ThisHockeyPod or find us individually at itsjust_Molly and at Channelle LV. And if you have any questions, send us some questions in the DM. We're here to discuss topics you would like.
For our social medias, I think it would be fun to have any Canucks fans who are listening to us to give us their feedback on what they think the Canucks should do next, considering how directionless it seems. Let's forget what the GMs think. What do the fans think?
Yeah,
the fans know how to fix this, right?
Oh, for sure.
100.
Oh, yeah, they're experts.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.